I'm Caleb Brooks with the AHSAA Radio Network. I'm at Gardendale High School. I'm joined by Christyn Banks here of the Gardendale Volleyball team. And you play the libero position here on the team. And, you know, I've been learning more and more about volleyball. I've always liked it, but I've never known, you know, like the game itself. I've just enjoyed watching it. And I'm learning more about the libero position and how unique that position really is on the volleyball court. And so to be that position, to, you know, wear the different jersey, to be able to come in and out whenever, you know, how different is your position from everything else, and how much do you enjoy getting to play that position?
I enjoy playing this position because, like, it's like your team relying on you and trusting you throughout, like, the entire game, and knowing that, like, you can get a lot of balls that people think that, like, are going to be dead during the game, and you can get them up. It's great.
And, you know, another thing that I've kind of learned with the position is you kind of come in for people when their rotation moves into kind of weaker spots where maybe they're not as good at. And so do you feel any pressure when you do come in for those people to kind of say, you know, I've obviously got to pick up their slack and, you know, kind of pick up what they're doing because I'm coming in because that's a weakness for them?
Yes, because most of the time their coaches on the other team serve at that person get in their head, and, like, you have to shake it off and just, like, play your own game.
You know, how unique is your position? I mean, just being able to come in and come out whenever, and you know, is there times where you, like, come out of the game, you're just getting some water maybe, and then all of a sudden your name's called and you got to run right back out there?
Yes, all the time. Like, but I enjoy that part of it. Just always being in the game and having fun with it.
Yeah,
I really enjoy
and it kind of keeps you on your toes too, doesn't it? I mean, it's got to be where, you know, you can't really prepare to go in because you just your name's getting called at any time, but you've got to always be prepared. And I'm sure for you that probably keeps you in the game a little bit more than it does some people who, you know, well, I'm not going in at this time, you know. So I mean, you know, do you have to stay more focused, do you feel like, than other people on the team just because of, you know, your name can get called at any time?
Yes, all the time.
So, I mean, you know, for this team this year, I mean, you're 8-2 right now with the regular season games, and you know, y'all feel pretty good about where you're at. I mean, where do you think you guys are at, and, you know, what are some of the good things that you feel like y'all do?
I think our team is good at serve receive and just, like, trusting each other majority of the time. And a few things that we do have to work on is, like, defense overall. But for most part of it, we're
and another thing I've learned is serve receive is one of the hardest things really for teams to get down. I mean, I'm talking to coaches back before the year, and they're talking about how they need to get that down, and now we're a month in and there's still coaches saying, you know, we haven't gotten serve receive down. So why do you feel like y'all do that well, and what is it about that y'all are able to do well opposed to other teams who really can't?
We work on it a lot at practice, and, like, even just, like, with your teammates telling you, like, do this to, like, help you get better passing, it helps a lot instead of just, like, trying to listen to your coach, just, like, with your team helping you and explaining things to you that your coach might not get through.
You know, y'all's area that y'all play in, I mean, it's not an easy area, and you know, you're gonna have to get through some difficult teams in order to get into the postseason and give yourselves an opportunity. But, you know, I mean, how do you feel like y'all match up with some of the other teams in your area, and y'all, you know, giving yourselves a chance there later on in the year?
I think our area is pretty good. We came first in our area last year, so, and we have the same area this year. So hopefully we, like, keep it up.
And so that has to give you a lot of confidence too, knowing that y'all did win a pretty tough area a year ago, and now you got a lot of people back. I mean, you know, like we mentioned, only one senior on this team, and so you know, being a part of this junior class, you know, I asked your teammate if she felt, you know, like y'all had done a good job. How do you feel like y'all have done at being able to step up and be the leaders, you know, really probably a year before you're expected to?
I think we've done a pretty good job because we have 3 freshmen on varsity, so, like, they look up to us as well. And since we only do have one senior, they, like, really rely on us, and they can, like, talk to us about anything that's going on the team, and we can all listen to each other.
Well, and I'm sure with one senior, y'all were probably called upon a little bit earlier in your career, so y'all can relate to some of those freshmen. And so, I mean, you know, having gone through some of the experiences that they're probably going through right now, I mean, do you feel like that helps and y'all really being able to help them along as well?
Yes, because we were all, like, in that predicament where we were freshmen on varsity and, like, didn't really know the routine of things. So, like, older people helping us out, it really helped.
Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to sit down with me. Good luck to you guys the rest of this year. I'm looking forward to seeing how it goes for y'all, and hopefully later on this year we'll see you over at the complex playing for a state title.
Hopefully, I really